Thanksgiving has always felt like a borrowed coat, ill-fitting, but warm enough to wear, especially if it's emerald green and woven. As a Polish American, I sit at tables adorned with turkey and cranberry sauce, knowing these rituals are not really mine. My attic is full of pagan cranberry tinctures, created when the crescent moon is in the Virgin. We Poles, with our pickled herring and mushroom pierogies, don't mark the year by the myth of pilgrims and harvests. We are the pilgrims. We were invaded from both the left and the right and erased from the map for 123 years. For nearly 2 centuries, my ancestors were little more than bones beneath the soil. Yet here I am today, living on a New England coast, surrounded on Thanksgiving by pumpkin pies and gratitude lists, painting plants and letting the gray Atlantic write its saltwater hymns into my days. For me, Thanksgiving is not about turkey. It's about noticing the way the wild sage by the dunes refuses to bow to November's frost, noticing how watercolor streaks across the paper like a gust of wind bending seagrass. Perhaps this is my way of giving thanks, translating the unruly, unpolished beauty of the coast into pigments, letting plants, bark, shells, paper and sky write their stories through my hands. I think of Thoreau, who said, "I am grateful for what I am and have. My thanksgiving is perpetual." His gratitude wasn't canned. It was a raw, unflinching appreciation for the world as it is. Coastal living echoes that sentiment. This is not a forgiving place. Plants grow here by sheer willpower, gnarled and withered, clinging to sand and granite with the tenacity of an immigrant holding onto their name in a foreign tongue. Watercolor, too, resists perfection. It is stubborn, like nature, like Polish traditions, like returning to the world map, Poland. A brushstroke moves beyond my control, bleeding into the paper's fibers as if it knows better what it needs to become. I paint plants that are never still, the brittle elegance of seaweed, the fragile arrogance of wild irises, and the way rose hips bruise into purples and browns when they've had enough of being. These are not tidy paintings. They are sketches of the way life insists on itself. The New England coast is a place of resilience. The ocean gnaws at the edges of everything, salt stings your skin, cold freezes your toes, and yet life goes on. Beach grass leans into the wind instead of away, the moss finds its grip on rocks too hard for anything else to claim. This defiance is something I understand deeply as a Pole raised on stories of resistance and survival. It's not about thriving in ideal conditions, it's about thriving despite them. Thoreau reminds me, nature will bear the closest inspection. She invites us to lay our eye level with her smallest leaf. And so, while others carve turkey, I crouch by the shore to study the cutest creatures on this earth. Plovers fluffing about their feathers like perm and curling against the frost-bitten earth. My gratitude is quieter, steeped in pigments, milky green for life, ultramarine for longing, burnt sienna for the edges of beautiful decay. At the end of the day, as the sun sets and Thanksgiving dishes are piled in the sink, I return to my paper. My table light has an amber color of, well, the Baltic amber. My brushes are made of Polish squirrel hair. I loom over the paper and think about the holiday again. How it doesn't quite fit, but how it warms me enough to keep it on my Polish-American calendar. Like watercolor, like the plants I paint, like the polished stories stitched into my bones. It doesn't need to be perfect to be mine.